Alright guys, so reviews and more, back with a different kind of review. This is more about emergency preparedness. Don't know, this is September 2017 and we got a pretty big hurricane on the way to the East Coast, so we decided, my wife and I, there's her little pretty done fingernails and my ugly nasty booger hands, that we needed a radio basically that would work even if it ran out of batteries and it would operate on a crank. So we got this radio. It's got a bunch of cool little features. I think we kind of got gouged on the price because, again, not being prepared, it was $50. So we kind of got gouged. This is a Voyager radio. I think during the winter you'll be able to get a little cheaper, but you know, you pay what you got to pay for. It comes with a little solar power charger for the lights. It has a hand crank charger. It has space for 3 batteries plus the charging batteries. It can charge your phone. It can be charged itself by a USB port if you don't want to crank it, or if you want to charge it some other fashion. Also has an AC adapter, so you have different ways to charge this thing up, and you have different uses once it's charged. So it works as a light, works as a flashlight, works as a radio, and does the weather radio, does AM, FM, everything it needs to do. And it also acts as a reading light, flashlight, like I said earlier, I'm repeating myself, sorry. And finally, you get the benefit of it being a phone charger. And yes, it does work on the phone charger. It's not some gimmick that doesn't really work. And for the first while when I opened this thing, I kind of felt like an idiot. I was looking through the instructions trying to figure out what the heck's going on. This thing's not turning on. It won't stay on. What's happening? And then my wife had the brains to look at the back of it, and she noticed that there was a tag sticking out of what is the battery compartment. And you're about to see that in just a moment. I'm going to go real fast through it, trying to crank it up. Doesn't work. What's going on? The lights come on for a second. The light works for a little while, but nothing really happens. And the reason for that is, well, the battery container is right there, and I just didn't notice that the batteries weren't hooked up yet. And here's the epiphany moment. Oh, wait, there are batteries in there. Part of me thought maybe it was like a lithium battery that's hooked up somewhere. No, it's just a little 3 rechargeable battery pack, but it doesn't come connected. The thing is not actually connected when it's in the box, which is a good thing because it means it won't, less likely to corrode, less likely to damage, won't be running, and it comes with a full charge. So it's ready to go out of the box, which is kind of nice. But you got to take the little connector and plug it in, otherwise you're going to get nothing out of it. It'll turn on for the second while you're charging it because the power is going in there, but it won't charge anything because there's no connection. So once that's in there, it's good to go. And you also notice very quickly that there's a lot more resistance from the hand crank. So if that hand crank is moving really loose, that's an indicator that the connector probably popped out or something, or it's never been connected at all, like was my case. So from here, you start cranking it really, really fast, time lapse, get it done, and it will charge. This one's already fully charged. This is more just to go through the motions, make sure it was operating correctly. The radio works fine, and this is me plugging the USB cord to the phone. The phone does hook up. There's a itty bitty switch underneath that little flap where all the charging ports are. You got to flip that switch over, and it'll actually connect the charger. That way, there's basically no wattage being used. Just slow, like a trickle like a trickle. You know how if you plug something into the wall, it's using a little itty bitty power. It avoids that by turning off the switch. So you got to turn the switch off on the back side underneath that flap, and it turns on the charging capability of the actual radio, and it functionally charges the phone. And what I thought was interesting about it was the fact a lot of the times when I plug up a charger to any device that's like not really meant to be a charger, you'll get a notice on your phone saying slow charge activated. You might want to hook it up to a better charger or something along those lines. I got a Samsung, I think it's S6 over there, and that's my wife's. That's why it's all pink. Got some Harry Potter stuff in there too. But the main thing is this thing charges fully functional. The only thing I didn't get to do was use a fast speed charger on it, and I want to kind of test that out later, and I might put in the comments how that worked, if it did work or did not work. But using a standard USB charger, it charges on fast. It charges pretty fast, so it starts working right away. Now, one thing that the instructions do say, if you are charging your phone or any other item that's USB charging based, you want to make sure you have a full charge on the actual radio first before you do that. They don't want you basically trying to charge the phone and crank it at the same time because it just won't keep up and it has an easier time working once the charge is put in place. Alright, I'm going to speed this next part up just because from here it's basically a little radio. It's got a few extra features, the weather notice radio stations, a couple other different feeds that come in so you can actually check out various emergency stations. AM, FM is the obvious one. It's got an antenna on it. Everything else on this thing is pretty standard. It's volume, control, all that stuff. So it's a very good little radio. I don't know if it's worth $50, which is unfortunately what I paid for it. You got the light, it's little LED lights, kind of. I wouldn't use it as a main flashlight. It could be a signal light, a little reading light. But that's about it. But here's just a different angle of it. Same features, better lighting, and my cat slowly creeping around in the background. But yeah, I'm happy with the purchase because, you know, we got this big old hurricane coming and the power might get knocked out for God knows how long because that's what they love to do. But yeah, this is a good product. I'd definitely pick one up. You should pick one up anyway just to have. We should have bought one back when the weather was nice and we saw one in the store for cheaper. But you know how it is. You just don't think about that stuff. And this is basically just a good thing to have just in case. You can have the batteries in it. Be ready to go. You also have the ability to charge it anytime you need to. It's also got a solar charger on it. You have various options to make this into a functional survival device if you need to have it for that purpose. So if you have heavy snows, if you have a hurricane issue, if you get tornadoes or just nasty storms, or if the apocalypse happens and you just want to know where the zombies are and make sure they're not near you, this is the device you want to get. And it works just fine. Nothing too crazy. It's the Voyager is the brand, or I think actually Kaito's the brand, Voyager's the name of it, and it's just cool. And this also I make light of it, but it's also a good product if you like to go hiking and stuff like that, so you have access to things, whether it's radio or emergency access, without worrying about keeping a battery or worrying about corrosion of your batteries. So this is my review of the product, guys. I'd pay for it again if I had to, but I don't know if I'd ever want to pay $50 for it the way I did this time. Got off Amazon for $50. I'll put the link in the description. And if I had to guess, if someone's watching this in 6 months, they'll see the price is probably not $50. I think I was gouged a little bit, but that's just the way it goes when you don't prepare on time. So that's kind of on me. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the video if it was helpful, and have a great day.